Let me ask you something brutally honest. When was the last time you looked at your bank account and felt genuinely excited? Not stressed. Not anxious. Actually thrilled about what you saw. For 95% of people, that feeling doesn't exist. And it's not your fault. You weren't educated about money in school. Nobody sat you down and explained how to attract it, save it, and multiply it. You were trained to work hard, follow orders, and pray it all works out somehow. But here's the truth that nobody wants to tell you: you cannot outwork a poor mindset. You can hustle 16 hours a day, sacrifice your weekends, miss your kids' birthday parties, and still stay exactly where you are. Because the problem isn't your work ethic. It's your mental programming. And I know some of you are already thinking, here we go, another mindset guru. But before you click away, let me ask you this: why do lottery winners go broke within 5 years? Why do people who inherit millions lose it all? And why do entrepreneurs who fail and lose everything somehow rebuild their wealth again and again? The answer is simple: your external wealth will always match your internal programming. So if you're serious about changing your financial reality, if you're done being stuck, if you know deep down you're meant for more than this, then what I'm about to share will change everything. But first, I need you to do something. Subscribe to this channel right now. Not later. Right now. Because what you're about to learn isn't just one video's worth of information. This is a complete mental reprogramming system, and if you want to see real results, you need to commit to watching our upcoming videos on financial psychology, wealth habits, and money mastery. Hit subscribe, drop a comment telling me your biggest money struggle, and let's dive in. Here's something most people never realize: money doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your belief system. Every single financial result in your life right now, the good, the bad, and the ugly, is simply a mirror reflection of your internal programming. Your income isn't limited by the economy. It's not limited by your education or your background. It's limited by your identity. Think about it. You can only attract and keep the amount of wealth that your self-image allows. That's why you could give $1 million to someone with a broke mindset, and within a year, they'd lose it all. But give that same million to someone with a millionaire mindset, and they'll multiply it. Why? Because one person is programmed for survival. The other is programmed for expansion. Let me ask you something: what's your current money identity? When you introduce yourself at a party, what do you say? I'm just a teacher. I'm just in sales. I'm just trying to make ends meet. Notice that word "just"? That's your subconscious telling you exactly where you've capped yourself. Here's what I want you to understand: you don't get rich by accident. You get rich by choice. And that choice has to be reinforced in your brain every single day until it becomes automatic. If you want different results, you must train your brain to see money differently. Not as something scarce and hard to get. Not as something only lucky people have. But as energy, as a relationship, as something that flows naturally toward clarity, confidence, and contribution. Now, I know some of you are thinking, this sounds too simple. And you're right to be skeptical. But answer this honestly: have you ever sabotaged your own success? Have you ever had an opportunity right in front of you and talked yourself out of it? Have you ever made money and then somehow found a way to lose it immediately? That's not bad luck. That's your programming protecting you from a level of wealth your identity can't handle yet. And the good news? We're about to change that programming permanently. Your brain operates exactly like a computer. And every single belief you hold about money right now is a line of code that was written by someone else. Your parents. Your teachers. Society. Painful experiences. Maybe you heard things like, money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. It's selfish to want more. Or my personal favorite, be grateful for what you have and don't ask for too much. Each of those statements became a program running in the background of your mind. And every time you acted broke, settled for less, or sabotaged an opportunity, you were just following that outdated software. But here's the breakthrough: every belief can be rewritten. Neuroscience has proven this through something called neuroplasticity. Your brain has the ability to form new neural pathways at any age. You can literally install new mental software. And here's what's fascinating, your brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. That's why visualization works. That's why athletes mentally rehearse their performance. That's why successful people train their subconscious through repetition and emotional rehearsal. They don't wait for evidence before they believe. They create evidence by conditioning their brain first. Let me give you a practical example. Right now, close your eyes for just a moment. I want you to imagine opening your banking app. See the screen. Now imagine seeing a balance that makes you smile. Really feel that emotion. Feel the relief. The pride. The security. Your brain just experienced that as partially real. And if you do that every single day with emotion and detail, your subconscious mind starts filtering reality to find ways to make it happen. You'll notice opportunities you used to ignore. You'll attract mentors and partnerships that align with your new standard. This isn't magic. This is neuroscience. Now, before we go deeper, I want you to pause and ask yourself, am I willing to do this daily? Because that's what separates people who watch motivational videos from people who actually transform their lives. If you're serious, comment below, I'm reprogramming my mind. Write it out. Make it real. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now because next week I'm releasing a video on the exact 7-minute morning routine that millionaires use to program their subconscious. You don't want to miss that. Let's get uncomfortably honest for a moment. What's your actual relationship with money right now? Do you love it but fear it? Chase it but resent it? Want more but feel guilty about it? Because here's what most people don't realize, money responds to emotion. If your emotional energy toward money is mixed, your results will be too. Imagine money as a person, as a partner in your life. Would money feel respected by you? Valued? Safe? Or would it feel ignored, mistreated, and unappreciated? Think about how you talk about money. Money isn't everything. Money is so hard to get. I'm just not good with money. Every time you say those things, you're telling money, I don't respect you. I don't want you around. And money, like any relationship, will leave if it doesn't feel valued. Millionaires have a completely different relationship with money. They respect it. They study it. They track it. They grow it. Not because they're greedy, but because they understand that control creates freedom. Here's a question I want you to sit with. If money could talk, what would it say about how you treat it? Do you spend it mindlessly? Do you avoid looking at your bank account because it stresses you out? Do you make emotional purchases to feel better temporarily? That's a broken relationship. Let me give you a reframe that changed my life. Instead of saying I hate paying bills, start saying I'm grateful I have the resources to pay for what I use. Instead of I can't afford that, ask how can I afford that? These tiny shifts rewire your brain from scarcity to possibility. From victimhood to ownership. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one negative thing you say about money regularly? Drop it in the comments. Let's identify these programs together so we can delete them. And make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to release a follow-up video showing you exactly how to repair your emotional relationship with money using psychology-backed techniques. Every single morning, whether you realize it or not, you're directing a movie in your mind. Your thoughts are the script. Your emotions are the soundtrack. And your imagination is the screen. The question is, what kind of movie are you playing? If your inner dialogue is full of doubt, fear, and limitation, you're rehearsing poverty before you even start your day. You're mentally practicing failure. And your brain, which doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality, starts preparing you to live that script. But here's the power move, you can rewrite the script right now. I want you to visualize your ideal financial life in vivid detail. Not in some vague I want to be rich way. I mean specific. See the exact number in your bank account. Imagine opening your banking app and seeing financial stability. See the zeros. Feel the relief in your chest. The confidence in your posture. Imagine what it feels like to pay for dinner without checking the price. To book a flight without anxiety. To help a family member in need without hesitation. Feel it as if it's already real. Because when you emotionally experience something, your brain begins searching for ways to make it reality. Neuroscience calls this cognitive priming. Your mind starts filtering opportunities that match your belief system. You suddenly notice connections you used to overlook. You attract mentors, ideas, and partnerships that align with your new standard. You're not manifesting magic. You're activating your focus. And focus, when combined with action, is unstoppable. Here's your homework. Tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, spend 5 minutes visualizing your wealthiest self. See it. Feel it. Believe it. Then come back and comment, "I'm reprogramming my future." Let's build accountability together. And if you want a complete guided visualization specifically designed for wealth attraction, subscribe now because that's coming in next week's video. Here's a truth that will change everything. What you tell yourself daily becomes your identity. And your identity drives your income. If you wake up every morning saying, "I'm broke, I'm unlucky, I'm just not a numbers person," your brain doesn't argue. It obeys. It will filter out every single opportunity that could prove you wrong. Because the subconscious mind's job isn't to make you successful. Its job is to make you consistent with who you believe you are. So if your identity is, "I'm someone who struggles with money," your brain will keep you struggling. Even when opportunities knock, you'll find a way to sabotage them. Not consciously, but automatically. But what happens when you reprogram that identity? What if you started saying, "I am a builder of wealth. I am disciplined with money. I attract abundance through value"? Your mind immediately starts looking for evidence to confirm it. You begin making better choices. You stop wasting energy on excuses. You move from reaction to intention. You start acting like the person you've been visualizing. And wealth follows action that aligns with identity. Let me ask you something. What identity do you carry about money right now? And more importantly, what identity do you want to carry? Write down 3 I am statements about your new money identity. Not what you want. What you are. I am financially disciplined. I am a wealth creator. I am worthy of abundance. Put them on your phone. Say them every morning. Repeat them until your brain has no choice but to believe them. Because here's the secret: before you can earn like a millionaire, you must think like one. And before you think like one, you must believe you're worthy of it. Comment below with your new money identity statement. Let's reinforce this together. And if you're getting value from this, smash that subscribe button because we're about to go even deeper into the neuroscience of wealth. Let's get scientific because this isn't just motivation. This is neurology. Inside your brain right now are billions of neural pathways. Every time you think a thought or repeat a behavior, you strengthen a specific connection. Psychologists call this neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to physically reshape itself based on your habits. And this is the real reason the rich keep getting richer. They've wired their brains for opportunity. Their default reaction to risk isn't fear. It's curiosity. Their instinct isn't to ask, "Why not me?" It's to ask, "How can I make this work?" Meanwhile, most people's brains are wired for survival. They associate money with stress, not strategy. So even when incredible possibilities appear, they hesitate. And they hesitate just long enough for someone else to take the opportunity. Your mind is like a muscle. If you train it to spot problems, it will find problems everywhere. If you train it to spot opportunity, it will find opportunity everywhere. You don't attract wealth by wishing for it. You attract it by thinking like someone who deserves it. So how do you actually train your brain? You start with repetition. Small, daily doses of new beliefs that reinforce abundance. You write them. You speak them. You visualize them. The more you practice new thoughts, the stronger those neural circuits become, until your subconscious starts acting on wealth instinctively. This is how you build millionaire reflexes. Not through one big moment, but through hundreds of small moments of mental discipline. Now let me ask you, are you training your brain daily, or are you just consuming content and hoping things change? Because here's the difference: consumers watch videos. Creators take action. Which one are you? If you're a creator, prove it. Subscribe, like this video, and comment on training my brain for wealth. Let's separate the serious people from the spectators. And next week, I'm dropping a video on the exact daily brain training routine used by self-made millionaires. You'll want to see that. Let's talk about the invisible tax that keeps most people poor: fear. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of losing what little you have. These fears don't just drain your emotions. They destroy your income potential. Because every financial opportunity requires some level of risk. And when your brain automatically associates risk with danger instead of growth, it will subconsciously shut down anything unfamiliar. That's why so many talented people self-sabotage. It's not that they lack ability. They lack tolerance for uncertainty. The wealthy have simply trained their nervous systems differently. They've conditioned themselves to stay calm under pressure. To view failure as data, not disaster. They understand that the brain confuses discomfort with danger. So they deliberately lean into discomfort, knowing that's where growth lives. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear: you're not broke because of the risks you took. You're broke because of the risks you avoided. Think about it. How many opportunities have you turned down because you were scared? How many times have you talked yourself out of something because it felt too uncertain? Every single one of those moments cost you money. Not just the immediate opportunity, but the compound effect of who you would have become by taking that risk. So if you want to make more money, you must get comfortable being uncomfortable. You must rewire your fear response to associate risk with expansion, not pain. Start small. Put yourself in mildly uncomfortable situations intentionally. Wake up earlier than you want to. Make that difficult call you've been avoiding. Speak up when you're afraid. Every time you step into pressure with purpose, your stress tolerance expands. And with it, your capacity for wealth. Because the brutal truth is this: you can't hold more wealth than your nervous system can handle. Comment below, what's one financial risk you've been avoiding out of fear? Let's bring it into the light. And if you're ready to master your fear response, subscribe, because I'm releasing a deep dive video on emotional regulation for entrepreneurs next week. There's an invisible thermostat in your subconscious mind. Not for temperature, but for success. No matter how hard you work, you will always return to the level your mind believes you deserve. That's why lottery winners go broke. That's why high achievers rebound after failure. Because income rises and falls to meet self-image. If you see yourself as someone who just gets by, your subconscious will sabotage anything beyond survival. You'll procrastinate on important tasks. You'll waste time on distractions. You'll make emotional decisions that shrink your potential. But if you train your self-image to say, "I am a wealth creator," your brain automatically filters life through that identity. You start speaking differently. Moving differently. Deciding differently. Investing differently. Remember, money doesn't change who you are. It amplifies who you believe yourself to be. To raise your income permanently, you must first raise your internal thermostat. Here's how: every single day, act like the person you're becoming. Dress like your future self. Think like your future self. Make decisions like your future self. Because your brain doesn't follow your intentions. It follows your identity. If you want more, you must become more. Now let me ask you, what does the wealthiest version of you look like? How do they walk? How do they talk? What decisions do they make daily? Write that down. Get specific. Then start embodying it today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. And if you're serious about this transformation, subscribe to this channel right now, because I'm building a library of content designed to completely rewire your financial identity. You don't want to miss what's coming. The difference between rich and poor isn't intelligence. It isn't luck. It's mental models. The poor think in scarcity. The rich think in systems. The poor ask, how can I save money? The rich ask, how can I make my money multiply? The poor see price. The rich see value. The poor see problems. The rich see patterns. The poor say, I can't afford that. The rich say, how can I afford that? Notice the difference? It's not arrogance. It's training. Millionaires have conditioned their brains to think in expansion, not limitation. They treat money like a game of chess, strategic, not emotional. When they fail, they don't say I'm a failure. They say that approach didn't work. What's next? When they succeed, they don't celebrate and stop. They ask, how can I scale this? The rich aren't different because they have money. They have money because they think differently. And here's the beautiful truth, you can learn to think like them. Your goal isn't to copy what wealthy people do. It's to study how they think. Because every external habit you see was once an internal belief they built. So let me ask you, what's one thought pattern you need to change right now? Are you thinking in problems or solutions? In scarcity or abundance? In excuses or possibilities? Write down one limiting thought you have about money. Then rewrite it as a millionaire would think about it. For example, I can't afford that becomes what would I need to do to afford that? Money is hard to make becomes money flows to value, and I create value. Rich people are lucky becomes wealthy people make strategic decisions consistently. This is how you reprogram your mental models. And if you want more examples of millionaire thinking patterns, subscribe because I'm releasing an entire series on wealth psychology. This is just the beginning. Let me tell you the power of repetition. Your brain learns through consistency, not intensity. You can't read one book, listen to one video, and expect total transformation. That's like going to the gym once and wondering why you don't have abs. Neural reprogramming requires immersion. Repetition. Ritual. Every day, you must flood your mind with wealth thoughts until your default reaction to problems becomes progress. That's how millionaires are made. Not overnight, but over time, through daily disciplines. Morning visualization of goals. Evening gratitude for progress. Strategic reflection on lessons learned. Eventually, those habits become hardwired. You don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your training. So train daily. Because your brain doesn't care what's real. It cares what's repeated. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, spend just 10 minutes every morning doing this. Visualize your wealthy future for 3 minutes. Write 3 money affirmations for 2 minutes. Read or listen to wealth content for 5 minutes. That's it. Just 10 minutes. But do it every single day for 7 days. Then come back and comment day 7 complete. I want to see who's serious about this transformation. And if you commit to this, subscribe right now because I'm creating weekly challenges specifically designed to rewire your wealth programming. You're going to want to be part of this community. Here's a truth most people never realize. Your emotions manage your money more than your logic ever will. Think about every bad financial decision you've made. Buying something you didn't need. Avoiding a difficult conversation. Staying in a draining job or relationship. None of those were logical failures. They were emotional failures. Your emotional patterns determine your financial patterns. That's why emotional intelligence is the secret weapon of wealth. Millionaires don't make decisions when they're reactive. They wait until they're rational. They've trained their minds to pause between feeling and action. Because between stimulus and response lies choice. And that's where your power lives. The poor panic when markets dip. The rich stay patient. The poor get jealous when others win. The rich get curious. The poor take rejection personally. The rich take it professionally. When you train your emotional responses, you stop being tossed around by external circumstances. You become a calm strategist in a chaotic world. And that calmness? That's your competitive edge. Because in a world addicted to reaction, clarity is currency. So let me ask you, what emotion controls your money decisions most? Fear? Guilt? Shame? Impatience? Identify it. Name it. Then start training yourself to pause before that emotion drives your actions. And if you want to master emotional intelligence for wealth, subscribe because I'm releasing a complete guide on emotional regulation for financial success. Let's talk about the invisible weight most people carry, guilt. You want more money, but something inside whispers, do I even deserve it? Maybe you grew up hearing that rich people are selfish. Maybe you feel guilty for wanting more than your parents had. Maybe you're afraid success will make you arrogant or judged. That's guilt disguised as humility. And it's silently repelling the abundance you deserve. You cannot attract what you secretly resent. If deep down you believe money is bad, your brain will protect you from it. It will sabotage opportunities. It will delay action. It will drain motivation. All to keep you safe from the thing it associates with guilt. So here's what you must understand, money is neutral. It doesn't change who you are. It amplifies you. If you're generous, money helps you give more. If you're creative, money helps you build more. If you're compassionate, money helps you serve more. Money isn't evil. It's energy. And energy flows toward purpose. You must forgive yourself for wanting more. You must release the belief that success equals selfishness. Because abundance doesn't create distance from people. It creates options to help them. The world needs more people with good hearts and great resources. So stop apologizing for your ambition. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Stop carrying guilt that was never yours to carry. Comment below, I release financial guilt. Say it out loud. Make it real. And subscribe to this channel because next week I'm releasing a powerful video on how to heal money shame and step into wealth without guilt. If you can't manage pressure, you can't manage prosperity. That's the paradox. Most people want the lifestyle of a millionaire but not the stress tolerance it requires. You think more money will bring more peace. But at first, it brings more responsibility. More decisions. More eyes on you. More weight on your shoulders. The rich don't avoid stress. They transform it. They use pressure as fuel. They see it as feedback. They understand that stress is simply your body's signal to grow stronger. You're not overwhelmed. You're undertrained. When your nervous system interprets pressure as danger, you freeze. When you train it to interpret pressure as opportunity, you perform. Start small. Put yourself in mildly uncomfortable situations intentionally. Wake up earlier than comfortable. Make that difficult phone call. Speak up when you're afraid. Start the project before you feel ready. Every time you step into pressure with purpose, your stress tolerance expands. And with it, your capacity for wealth. Because here's the truth, you can't hold more wealth than your nervous system can handle. Your income will always match your inner stability. So train your nervous system. Build your stress capacity. Learn to stay calm in chaos. That's not just a life skill. That's a wealth skill. Comment below, what's one way you're going to challenge yourself this week? Let's build stress tolerance together. And make sure you're subscribed because I'm releasing advanced techniques for nervous system regulation specifically designed for high achievers. Show me your 5 closest friends, and I'll show you your future income. Your brain mirrors the energy of the people you spend the most time with. Their conversations. Their habits. Their standards. All of it becomes your subconscious programming. If you hang around complainers, you'll normalize complaining. If you hang around builders, you'll normalize building. That's why the wealthy protect their circle like a fortress. They don't avoid people out of arrogance. They curate proximity out of wisdom. You can't train your brain for wealth while surrounding yourself with people addicted to excuses. You need exposure to people who make growth a lifestyle, not a phase. If you don't have that circle yet, start digitally. Listen to audiobooks. Watch interviews. Study documentaries about successful people. Because when you expose your brain to high-frequency thinking long enough, your old patterns start dissolving. You rise to the standard of your environment. So design it intentionally. Now let me ask you, who in your current circle is elevating you? And who is draining you? You don't need to cut people off harshly. But you do need to be honest about who gets your time and energy. Because your future is being shaped by your associations right now. Comment below, tag someone who's elevating your mindset. Let's celebrate the people who push us to grow. And subscribe because I'm creating content on building powerful networks and finding mentors who accelerate your wealth journey. Habits are automated scripts running in the background of your life, controlling 90% of your behavior without your permission. So if you don't consciously build habits that create wealth, you'll unconsciously maintain habits that destroy it. Here's what millionaires do differently: they automate their success. Their daily routines aren't random. They're rituals. They wake up early to control their morning before the world demands their attention. They plan their week in advance. They journal wins and losses to build self-awareness. They track spending and investments like a pilot monitors altitude. They protect their focus ruthlessly. The rich don't have more time. They have fewer distractions. When your habits align with your goals, discipline becomes effortless. You don't need to motivate yourself daily. Your systems do it for you. Motivation fades. Habits stay. So what's one wealth habit you're committing to starting this week? Maybe it's reviewing your finances every Sunday. Reading 10 pages of a business book daily. Saving 10% of every payment automatically. Turning off phone notifications during deep work. Pick one. Just one. Master it for 30 days. Then add another. Comment your new habit below. Make it public. Create accountability. And subscribe because I'm releasing the complete millionaire morning routine next week. You don't want to miss it. Closing, the transformation starts now. You've just absorbed more wealth psychology in one video than most people learn in a lifetime. But here's the critical question: what are you going to do with this information? Because knowledge without action is just entertainment. And I didn't create this video to entertain you. I created it to transform you. So here's your commitment. For the next 30 days. Watch or listen to this video every single morning. Choose one habit from this video and implement it daily. Track your progress and mindset shifts. Engage with this community in the comments. Do that, and I promise you, 30 days from now, you won't recognize your money mindset. But you have to actually do it. Not just nod along and forget about it tomorrow. Not just save this video for later. Do it now. Subscribe to this channel so you get every single video in our wealth transformation series. We're building something powerful here, a global community of people reprogramming their minds for abundance. Like this video if it resonated with you. Drop a comment telling me which section hit you hardest. And share this with one person who needs to hear it. Because the richest minds aren't born. They're built. And we're building yours. Now let me ask you one final question. 6 months from now, when you're looking back at this moment, will you remember it as the day everything changed? Or just another video you watched? The choice is yours. Let's build wealth. Together. See you in the next video.